So in the future.
Just last week.
Okay.
No, not last week, last month maybe.
I think. I can't see anything. Okay.
Okay, all right, let's call this meeting to order at 6:30. I would take a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Along with the motion, can we get a second?
I'll second it.
So with a second, all those in favor, any discussion on the agenda? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve consent items?
I'll move to approve the consent items.
Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Sarah with the motion, Andrew with the second, all those in favor say aye. Or you just, sorry, any discussion? You just, all those in favor say aye.
Hey,
Opposed? Motion passes. No communication from the public. Director's report.
All right. So, our May circulation and people through the library both were up considerably compared to April. We did just 25 passports in May, which was actually delightful. And we had 11 adventure passes used. Those May statistics were the highest that we have seen since January of 2020. So we're getting there. So if you remember our hotspots, was it 2 months ago that we got notified that our 10 oldest hotspots were eligible for free upgrades? Now the remaining 20 are eligible, so they've been ordered and we should have those within a couple weeks. So just in time because they're very, very busy right now with the summer. Summer reading program has officially kicked off. We did our initial registration sign up at the farmer's market on the 26th, last day of school. It was freezing cold, 2 years in a row that we were down there on the square, freezing in May. But we had almost 200 people, 195 people that we signed up that night. As of this morning, we had 419 signed up. And then the programs actually started today. So we had our first, it was a 4-H that's meeting for 5. A 4-H group from Iowa State Extension is there. They're doing 5 weeks of programming, and then we actually had Parks and Rec in this afternoon because they got rained out from part of their activities, so they came in and watched a movie. We were at the police kickoff Friday night, signed up more people for summer reading there, and we had the Friends of the Library had a balloon artist. The panic buttons were installed at the library a couple weeks ago. The new router's in, it's working wonderfully.
sweet.
And the last 2 security cameras were installed on Friday, so we are done with that security camera project. And then the Fairway Roundup raised $1,360 for the Friends of the Library a couple weeks ago. So that was a good event. And then longtime patron Janine Carlisle passed away on May 8th, and so her memorials have all been directed to the library. They've been coming in. When her husband passed away, when her daughter passed away, they did the same thing. So her husband's memorial bought the 2 stations, the kid computers that are there. And then her daughter's memorial did the mural that was at the library.
And what was the name of it?
Janine Carlisle. It's Janeene.
Okay.
So sometimes people ask us why the mural, it has a family crest and it says Carlisle on it. And everybody's like, why does it say Carlisle when we're in Polk City?
There you go.
But it's because of all of the money that they have donated to that kids area. So that's pretty much, like I said, May is a quiet month for us at the library as we prepare for summer, but we're off and running.
When are they going to do the gutters?
Oh, the gutters are done, sorry. Yeah, so once we approved the gutters, I think that was like on a Monday, right? Well, I went to Chelsea to get final yes. I sent them the notice and said, are you replying to the guy? He said, I've been approved. Let's know when we get the schedule. He goes, I have a cancellation for tomorrow. And they were there and they had them done by noon. so, yeah. So I was glad because, yeah, I don't think they would have kept up yesterday.
Nothing else? Any questions or comments for Jamie on the director's report? If not, we will go to the liaison report.
Yeah, you have two quick things. Sorry for being late. First one, to go to the library from So I'm almost positive, not 100% sure, but garbage collection is going to be switching from Tuesday to Friday. So that's
You mean for Wednesday, right?
well, yeah, Wednesday to Friday.
Tuesday
I
night.
wrote down Tuesday night. Yeah, sorry. That's what Marijuana is on my fault. Yeah, same day as recycling.
Okay, I got it.
So, yeah, that's apparently what they like to do.
I can't say it's a plan.
Yeah, I know. So you'll get communications from the hauler here pretty quick. We've got to formally approve it, but again, that's standard practice. So, and the other thing is, it's not on the website yet, but there's going to be a parade for the festival this year. Don't know the exact timing and the route yet, but a lot of discussions. And similar structure with the mini fest last year, but with the addition of a parade. So not really out there yet, and it's kind of last minute. And so if you want to spread the word on that. Other than that, we've approved new water and sewer rates. It's going up a little bit. Contracted with a firm to meet with folks on the new City Hall / police / fire expansion project I've talked about before. Trying to think of what else in the last couple meetings. Those are the main low points. Any questions?
Do you know? Anybody? All right, thanks, Rob. So no board education because Corey's not here, so we will move on to agenda items. The first is review tier standard section 6, physical spaces.
All right. So we'll just, like I said, run through these real quick. It says the library provides full convenient access to complete range of its services. Access refers to the library's location, number of hours open, and other services to the community. It includes access to the library's catalog and collections and access to the collections of other libraries. So then, with the standards that are included, the library has a telephone with voicemail capability that announces current hours, holidays, and other non-scheduled closures. Yep. The library has an email address. We do. Library hours are posted and fixed based on users and potential users' available time. This standard is based on a typical week, one in which the library is open regular hours with no holidays. A typical week does not include summer hours. To satisfy the standard, the library must be open a minimum of 10 hours per week and at least 1 hour during each of the following times. At least one morning, at least one afternoon, at least one evening, and a Saturday or a Sunday. And then I'm going to skip over here. The minimum days and hours of service are in compliance with the chart below. So as an E-sized library, we should be open a minimum of 5 days a week and a minimum of 41 hours. We're open 6 days a week, 54 hours. So we meet that standard. The library provides reference and reader advisory to residents of all ages. We do that. The library has a current and maintained catalog of its holdings that is easy to use and independently accessible by the public. Yes. The library has a current and maintained online catalog of its holdings that's easy to use and independently accessible. We do. The library provides interlibrary loan services. Yes. Library has allocated space for child and family use with all materials readily available. The library's online catalog is remotely available to users. Yep. The library's services are available when the library is open, or all the library's services are available when the library is open. Our notary services, we have 3 of us are certified as notaries, but evenings and weekends, we don't have that service available. But it's not one we're required to offer either. Residents of the community have free access to tax-supported public library services. Yes. The library provides the necessary equipment to use any audiovisual materials. We do not, and that is actually not a required standard. But, so you can check out a DVD, but we don't provide the DVD player. You could watch it on one of our computers at the, the library provides inside directional signs. We do. The library provides trained staff who are knowledgeable about reference and reader's advisory, print and electronic resources. Yes, and we have a public meeting space available for programs and for use by other community groups. So, and the library allocates space and furniture for young adults. Yep. Library has a maker space. Yeah, we do. We have a craft area. Again, that's not a full.
You don't
That's
have
not
table saws.
we don't have a 3D printer or a sewing machine or. It would be. The microphones. So that things are not required. So yeah, we're compliant with everything that we need to be in then some.
Questions on that?
You gonna fund the 3D printer?
Yeah. No questions, we'll move on to number 2, review the gift and donation policy.
All right, so that was just a policy that was up for review this year. And the only things that I had put in there was, it was just semantics. Like it said, nonfiction titles over 3 years old. And we really just, across the board, if it's older than 3 years, we don't take it as a donation. So I just kind of removed the word nonfiction from that. I think there was a will that got changed to a may or something like that. But other than that, the policy itself is
Do we need to like do that or just go to that?
basically just that it's been reviewed.
Okay.
Yep.
Any questions on that? Okay, review of electronic access policy.
So again, this is one that has to by the state's requirements has to be reviewed annually, and there are no.
I feel like we just updated that one.
We did the one that was in relation to the hotspots, and
And adjusted that one based on that.
so I don't.
Didn't we roll the hotspots into something else or something?
So there was the hotspot was in the circulation policy, and then we have just that electronic access that you'll see. So
No major changes on that.
there's no changes on this.
Questions, comments? All right, moving on to item 4, approve the library spending policy.
All right, so this one came about from me going and talking with Chelsea about the gutters. And she's like, your board needs to have, so the city has a spending policy that says, okay, the departments can spend up to this level just on their own within their budget. And then at some point, it can go to Chelsea for approval, where she can approve, and then city council, Chelsea's threshold is here, and then city council needs approval after that. And so she wanted us to have one for the library. So she kind of had given me some guidelines and then advised me to kind of talk about it with Lisa first, kind of hash it out, and then bring it to the board. And so the policy basically would give, so I'll give you so the city's policy is department heads may spend up to $3,000 on department-specific items and equipment within their budget. Purchases under $1,000, we have to, so basically when I turn in a receipt to City Hall, I rubber stamp it, I fill out the little information that has my name, the date, the line item it comes out of, and it goes to Carol. If it's $1,000 or more, I have to do a purchase order as opposed to my rubber stamp. Then the city manager can authorize purchases up to $10,000. Over that has to go to city council. So what we put together with the library one was that I would be able to spend up to $3,000 on department-specific items and equipment within our budget, just like all the other department heads. All purchases under $1,000 will not require the purchase order. Over $1,000 requires the purchase order. Same exact thing as City Hall. The library director may spend up to $5,000 with the authorization from the library board of trustees president, and any purchase over the amount of $5,000 will require pre-authorization and final approval from the board of trustees. And then, of course, if it's over $10,000, you have to have the competitive bids. So, like I said, we can, this was the first hash, we can adjust.
Thoughts? Questions? Concerns?
Yeah, it seems pretty aligned with what the city is doing.
Sounds like what I do at work, you know, I'm in IT, so I spend like 15 grand real easy. So,
We definitely don't want to have the authority over 10. I wanted to just.
Oh,
yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick the number too.
And honestly, like I said, it's a rare
Yeah.
day that I spend. I mean, I could probably count on the security cameras, the gutters. I'm like, I don't spend $3,000 in a pop, let alone $5,000 in
And
a
every
pop.
one of those we've discussed, so, yeah.
I agree as well. I have no concerns with it.
Well, then I would take a motion to approve the policy.
I'll motion to approve the, what's it called, the library spending policy.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? So motion by Angie, second by Rob. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 5 is approve resolution 2022-06L, library staff wages.
Okay, so I have everything in this resolution right now, with the exception of mine. So I pretty much went in line with what Chelsea had laid out with her plan for getting everybody to the certain wage, and pretty much went with that. The only one that doesn't immediately fall into that section would be the youth services librarian. And that is because she will also be eligible for a raise at her 1-year anniversary, so the end of January. And so that amount that she's like eligible for this year will be allocated amongst 2 separate. She'll get one here July 1, and then again, probably about February 1st, because their anniversary date's January 24th, so right at that point.
So, do you have anything more to say you want to say?
Nope.
So Jamie's, if you look at it, is, my suggestion is we take what the city was willing to budget up to. It's a pretty substantial increase, but the whole purpose is to catch them up. I think it's,
77, something like that.
yeah, it's like a $9,000 increase,
Yeah.
922. But it's 77, yeah. We're going to do an evaluation with her after this. In my opinion, she needs, her evaluation will support it.
Okay.
But, and I mean, then what's proposed for further years, or the next year is going to be a more normal increase, but I feel like we take her to what they max budgeted, would be my suggestion. Questions, comments, concerns? Okay, if there are none, I would take a motion to approve the resolution.
Probably with,
I was gonna say, do we have to put the actual dollar amount?
Okay, probably. So I would take a motion to approve resolution 2022-06L with the addition of Jamie's salary being at $77,463.36.
I'll make the motion.
no, that's not what I have though. Not that I don't appreciate that number, but maybe I'm
Really?
like,
Is that that's the number?
maybe I looked at her, maybe I just,
74.
that's what I have.
Oh, I was looking at next year's, yeah, sorry.
74, 44.
74, 48, 4, my bad.
I'll make the motion still.
My bad, thank you. Can I get a second?
I'll make a second.
So Rob with the motion, Sarah the second, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Boy, Chelsea would have been happy with me. when she-
What salary?
Yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying, have at it. Okay, so then number 6 is review resolution 2018-03L in relation to the Carlisle Memorial.
So, yeah, I just wanted to go over this. This is one of those, I don't know if any of you were on the board. You were, okay, when this policy was developed. But it came into play, we were in a very similar situation in that it was the end of the fiscal year, and we received a substantial donation from the Lois Burt estate. And so after some discussion, we were advised to set up a library trust fund, basically within a trust account within the city, so that those donations go into that trust and we don't lose them because they roll back over into the general fund at the end of the year. So the trust is set up such that the donations that go into that can only be used to benefit the patrons. So they can't be used to carpet the library, to put a roof on the library. They have to be used for something. So we've used them, the first time we bought into Bridges, when we started adding our own titles, we used them to upgrade the patron computers, and we had the really old ones, and we used them to buy the STEM backpacks that they can check out. I think those are the 3 things that we've used them for so far. But it also then goes on to say all future donations to the Polk City Community Library will be allocated to this trust. So basically that's what we will do with these Carlisle memorials. As they come in, they will just go into this trust fund, our trust account, so that we have access to them. And we can't spend anything out of that trust without a resolution from the board. So I can't spend $5 of that money without your approval.
So you're just wanting us to know.
So yes, basically, since most of you, I couldn't even remember if you were on, but at the time we did that, I thought it was just a good idea since we have this. I've heard unofficially through other people that there'll be some estate money potentially too. So it was just kind of making everybody aware that this is where we're at with this.
Sure. Okay. Any questions on that or comments or concerns with that? Okay. So then we go to number 7, which is approve cancellation of the July library board meeting.
If you don't want to meet right before July 4th.
Well, it is July 4th.
No, it is July.
So, I mean, we can reschedule it till the 11th. But we're required to meet at least 10 times a year. So typically July and December are kind of, if we don't have anything pressing, then that's kind of where we tend to take those.
Can I get a motion to approve cancellation of the July meeting?
I'm sorry, I have a motion to approve canceling the July meeting.
Angie with motion, Sarah, did you?
I'll second it.
Sarah, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Same, opposed, same sign. Motion passed. So we will not have a July board meeting. And now I will take a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Third motion, can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Did you not want to join? Or John?
Aye.
Okay. Oh, opposed or?
No.
Okay. Motion passes. Next meeting will be Monday, August 1st. Thank you.